All right, good afternoon. I should say good evening, everyone. I always mess that intro up. Good evening, everyone. This is Corey here with Zero Meter Chasers. It is 8:07 Eastern, 7:07 Central. Do apologize for being just a little bit late. I was able to do a live update with G&G On Demand in the middle of their coverage earlier this afternoon, or I guess I should say just a few minutes ago. The middle of their coverage between the girls and boys games. So I'm a little bit later. I wanted to make sure I got a few extra things added in here for this broadcast. So better late than never. If you guys don't mind, let me know in the comment section. I want to make sure that my mic volume is good. So you guys let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. And then also, if you guys don't care, please share this video. The number one goal of our team here at Zero Meter Chasers is for everybody to stay up to date with the latest information and be prepared, especially with this major winter storm, possibly historic winter storm moving into the Ohio Valley. So please, please, please share this video if you guys appreciate what we do here. It would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for the comments. I see them all over here on the right hand side of my screen. Definitely appreciate you guys letting me know that the mic volume is good. Sometimes I get halfway through a live video before I start reading comments telling me my mic is awful. So that's one of my pet peeves that I've been trying to get better at right off the bat. Let me check one more thing here. I should be able to fix one more thing. I seen somebody say YouTube. I may not be able to fix it. So normally I do. I think you might be able to check YouTube now. So I was trying something new tonight, and I guess it didn't go through. So YouTube's up now. Should be up now. So thank you, whoever said that. I seen the comment. So all right, we're good to go. So getting started with our coverage tonight. We do not want to skimp on what we have going on tonight into early tomorrow morning. We have a cold weather advisory in effect. Wind chills could be as low as -10 tonight. Again, this is tonight into tomorrow morning. If you're out and about, I know not a lot of people's going to be out tonight, but if you're out, make sure you dress in layers. Temperatures are only going to get colder beyond tonight, so there will likely be cold weather advisories or extreme cold warnings in the coming days. This is something that we've talked about rather frequently here over the last couple of days on the live streams, that the cold weather is coming and could be very cold at times. So I do expect to see some more cold weather alerts into the future. Here is the winter storm warning. Again, the entire state remains in this winter storm warning. Nothing's changed with that. Yeah, whole state. Whole state of Tennessee is in a winter storm warning as well, with some ice storm warnings as well down here in Tennessee. Here is basically your headlines on that winter storm warning here in Kentucky. Basically, widespread heavy snowfall and ice accumulation is going to happen. Increasing potential for significant ice, especially in the southern part of Kentucky. Potential impacts, power outages, impassable or extremely hazardous roads, disruptions to other utilities, down trees, and power lines. Make sure you finish all preparations as soon as possible, because cannot emphasize this enough that travel may become dangerous or impossible once the storm begins. So I know there's still a lot of people out preparing for the storm. If you haven't prepared for the storm yet, please use the rest of this evening to do so. And if you just cannot do it this evening, first thing tomorrow morning, you're going to have a little bit of time before the storm starts. We'll get into that here in just a second. But you will have some time before the storm starts, so that will give you just a little bit extra time to prepare for this winter storm as we head into tomorrow morning. So let's get into the model data here. I'm not going to go through every single thing. I don't want to, bog you guys down with computer model after computer model. But I'm going to show you guys the Euro Futurecast. This is basically simulated radar. Gives you guys an update of kind of what to expect, how the storm's going to evolve. Again, a lot of the finer details we're not really going to know until the storm actually starts. It's going to be a nowcasting mode, hour by hour type deal. But we're going to be watching that closely, and we're going to see how all this evolves as the storm moves in. So, European model, this is the newest European model. Basically has snow breaking out across the area west of I-65 by noon, basically east of I-65 by 3 p.m. So the timing has slowed down just a little bit. So instead of it being in here early in the morning, you're probably looking at something closer to noon. We'll get the exact timing down here in just a second. But basically by 3 p.m., everybody has moderate to potentially even heavier snowfall ongoing across the state. We get into Saturday evening. You see the warmer air starting to make its way a little bit more toward the north. The purple's the sleet. It's just south of the Tennessee line. The pink is the freezing rain. It's basically right around the Nashville, Cookeville, Knoxville area and points to the south. We get into Saturday night. That warmer air makes it a little bit more towards the north. Again, this is the European model. We're still kind of watching to see how everything evolves. Sorry, I lost my spot there. But this is Saturday around 9 p.m. That warmer air makes it a little bit more towards the north. This is Sunday midnight. And basically from Bowling Green to the south has changed over to freezing rain according to the European model. We have sleet just north of that with heavy snow north of that. We get into Sunday morning. That warm air really comes up a little bit more to the north, but you see that sleet line stays right along the Western Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways. Again, this is kind of what we've been highlighting here over the last couple of days. The parkways and to the north is kind of that axis of the heaviest snowfall, but the data has shifted a little bit more to the south throughout the day. Again, we're going to look through all the data here in just a second. Just wanted to give you guys a simulated radar, but basically right along the West Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways and to the south is where you have that freezing rain. This is not what you want to see. You don't want to see that warm air go to the north. If it does, the ice amounts are going to go up. They're going to be higher. The European model basically shows a full-blown ice storm beginning right around 3 a.m. Sunday and pretty much lasting throughout the day. This goes to 9 a.m. Sunday, 12 p.m. So several hours of ice, and then we finally change back over to some snow on the backside of that system. So that kind of gives you an idea of what to expect from a radar perspective. Again, we're going to be watching it very closely. How far north does that warm air, make it up into Kentucky? If we have more warmer air, you're going to see something similar to what the European model just showed. You're going to have more of an ice storm in the southern half of Kentucky. If that colder air kind of, keeps that warmer air to the south, you're going to have more snow, and therefore you're going to have a snowier outcome. That has been the trend today, is a little bit more to the south on the track and a little bit the warmer air staying more in Tennessee and to the south, which is increasing our snowfall amount. So the first two things I'm going to show you is the HRRR model and the RAP model. Now, the HRRR model, it's not showing the full storm just yet. It's showing the majority of it, but not the full storm. These are two of the models that specialize in short-term weather, say the next day and a half, I'd say 1 to 2 days. 1 to 2 days, these models really specialize in that, so they do, most of the time they do a pretty good job. There's some things that's off, there's some things that's not. The HRRR model this is the snowfall accumulation map. It's much further south than what the European model was showing. It's basically showing the highest amounts from the Ohio River down to the Western Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways, and just a little bit to the south. But still, nonetheless, still shows significant snowfall even south of that, 7 to 8 inches, even 10 inches here in the northern part of Greene, Taylor, Hart County, even into Marion County. Basically shows Hodgenville getting 13 inches. It's stage triple R model. Now, do I think it's right? Possibly. I definitely think this is a possibility. It's definitely something that we're going to watch. Here is what the ice is showing from the H triple R model. Again, it's just a little bit more to the south because it's keeping that warmer air a little bit more to the south. Basically, from Bowling Green, say, to Greensburg to Liberty and points to the south, that's where you kind of get into your, I would say, over a quarter-inch range. Now, I don't think it's definitely possible that some of South Central Kentucky could get half an inch of ice. That's actually on the National Weather Service is updated forecast. We're going to keep an eye on this because, again, if that warmer air stays more to the south, the ice amounts will be less. If that warmer air comes up, these ice amounts are going to go much higher than what this is showing. RAP model. It's kind of similar to what the GFS has been showing here over the last couple of days. Really points basically from the Ohio River down to the Cumberland Parkway. A foot plus of snow is what the RAP model is showing. And the RAP model is traditionally a pretty good model when it comes to short-term weather. Now, do I think this happens? It's definitely a possibility. We're going to watch it closely as we get a little bit closer. The models are going to get better. We're going to fine-tune the details. But that's definitely a possibility. As you can see with both of the models I showed you guys, with the RAP model and the HRRR model, both of them have pretty good snowfall across much of the Kentucky, especially the northern two-thirds. Anywhere between 8+ inches all the way up to, say, potentially even higher than a foot in places. The RAP model, as far as ice, same scenario, basically from Russellville up to Bowling Green to Greensburg to Liberty to the south is where you get your quarter-inch amounts. You get down into Tennessee, you get into basically a crippling ice storm down here in middle Tennessee. Going to be a big deal for them. GFS model has not let up. This has pretty much been almost 2 days. The GFS model has stayed almost in the same spot, throwing out 20-inch amounts. I don't think anybody gets 20 inches, but the fact that the GFS model has showed this for almost 2 straight days, it's been pretty remarkable. And the other models are starting to bend toward the GFS. That's kind of where we're increasing our confidence on the snowfall. That's what I was basically telling you guys earlier today when I was looking at the model data. And, I'll put that update out that the model data has kind of shifted everything to the south. That's 100% what the trend has been this afternoon. So here's the blend. This is all the models blended together, or whatever the National Weather Service uses to blend together. Like I said, I don't exactly know which models the National Weather Service picks. I know that typically they're more. I think it's their more reliable models and maybe some in-house stuff. Not 100% sure. I'd love to find this out one day. But it's basically an average of the models that the National Weather Service prefer to use, most accurate, etc. And pretty good snowfall across much of the state. Pretty much 7 to 12 inches, basically from the Cumberland Parkway all the way to the Ohio River. So very good snowfall in agreement here with the National Weather Service blend. Here's the blend on ice. Again, it's ticked up just a little bit. But from Clarksville up to Bowling Green, Greensburg, pretty much in the same locations that I was just calling off. Along that line and to the south, quarter-inch of ice around about on the blend. So the ice amounts have definitely ticked higher. A couple days ago, we was looking at maybe a tenth. I think yesterday, just right at 2/10. Today, it's pretty much up to a quarter-inch. So it's slowly been creeping up on the averages here for the ice accumulation across the southern half of the state. We'll keep an eye on that. Again, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. We get more warmer air, we're going to see more ice. If we get less colder air, that colder air stays more, or that warmer air stays to the south. I don't even know what I said. I want to make sure I said this right because I'm losing my mind right now. If the warmer air, we get more warmer air, more ice. If the warmer air stays more down in Tennessee, we're going to see more snow. We're going to be watching all that closely as the storm moves in. So here is the latest forecast from the National Weather Service. And we talked about getting an official forecast from ZMC last night. It did not happen. There was just too much going on. We did Twitter Spaces last night, and after that, we were all cooked. We have not had a lot of sleep, so we are going to try to get one out after this video. No promises, though. So in the meantime, we're going to use the National Weather Service's official map, which a couple of our team members did make a hand-drawn map, and it's very similar to what the National Weather Service is showing. Very similar. It's not identical, but it's very similar. So basically, southeast Kentucky, down here in your Harlan area, 3 to 4 inches. Then you get into the Lake Cumberland area, southern Kentucky, Lake Cumberland, all the way through, say, Somerset, London, and then all the way to Pikeville. You're going to be looking at around 4 to 6 inches. You take a tier up from there, so say Hopkinsville to Bowling Green, Glasgow, Edmonton, Columbia, all the way over to Jackson. You're going to be looking at around 6 to 8 inches. North of there, 8 to 12. That's going to be your Greensburg, Campbellsville, Hodgenville, Elizabethtown, Lebanon, Springfield, Lexington, Richmond, 8 to 12 inches. And then you get into the northern part of that, which is going to be your Louisville, your Frankfort, all the way up to Covington. That's where you could get your bigger snow, 12 to 15 inches. Again, we're going to keep an eye on that. If that shifts just a little bit more to the south, like kind of what the some of the short-term data is showing, this will obviously have to be adjusted. But nonetheless, the National Weather Service forecast map pretty much is spot on to what a lot of the data is showing this afternoon. So here is the ice amounts from the National Weather Service. They've increased this substantially because we are expected to see some of that warmer air move in, especially on Sunday. Again, don't know exactly how much ice we're going to get, but the National Weather Service is saying pretty much from the same areas I was showing, from Bowling Green over to Greensburg, over to Liberty, and points to the south, 1/4 inch. The National Weather Service is saying we could get up to a 1/2 inch, but that's if that warm air really moves up into Kentucky. So anything below that line, I'm going to say over a 1/4 inch is possible, but there is a chance that some of these locations pick up almost 1/2 inch of ice. That would be a really big deal. That would cause a lot of power outages. It would not be pretty. So I know there's a lot of people out there that doesn't like snow, that wants it to go away. But you would much rather have over a foot of snowfall than to have 1/2 inch of ice, especially with the colder temperatures coming in on Mondays. That's not going to be fun. Not going to be fun at all. So again, we're going to be watching this closely as the storm comes in. The warm air aloft is what we're going to be tracking very, very closely. That's going to determine everything. So start time. A lot of people ask me what time this is going to start. So everybody, please pay attention to this. So pretty much I would say you see it on the map here, but from Hopkinsville to say Mumfordville, pretty much all of western Kentucky, part of southern Kentucky, anywhere between 9 to 12 a.m. The Greene-Taylor County area, Adair, Casey, Marion, Washington, Nelson, LaRue, Hardin, we're expected the snowfall to start anywhere between 12 to 3. And then you get into the northeastern part of the state, your Covington, Moorhead, Jackson, Pikeville, you're going to get the snow to begin around 3 to 6 p.m. So it's going to break out. It's going to start in western Kentucky between 6 to 9 a.m., Paducah area. It's going to move to the west, Hopkinsville, Hartford, Owensboro, Bowling Green. This would include Simpson and Allen County, Monroe, Barron, Metcalfe, part of Hart County, Edmondson, Grayson, Butler, cities such as Mumfordville, Glasgow, Edmonton, Bowling Green, Scottsville, those type areas, anywhere between 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the morning. And then again, right here in the central part of the state, your E-Town, I guess I should say parts of the Bluegrass region, part of the Lake Cumberland region. It really splits the state. It'd be the northeastern part of the state, the northeastern half. If you split it just right down the middle. But your Campbellsville area, this would be Greene and Taylor County. You're looking at 12 to 3 p.m. 12 to 3 p.m. And this is going to end on Sunday. Sunday into Monday. So the latest information shows anywhere between midnight to 3 a.m. on Monday. So this is going to be almost a 48-hour storm. It's going to be a big deal. I couldn't tell you the last time we've seen a winter storm last almost 2 days. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Preparedness. Again, we're running out of time to prepare for this winter storm. I don't think everybody realizes how serious this really is going to be. Looking at the temperatures for next week, Monday night, we're dropping into the negatives Monday night. We're going -6, -10 degrees, and that's air temperature. It's not wind chills. That's air temperature. Tuesday night, low of 6. And there's a chance we get close to 0 on Tuesday night as well. Wednesday night, 3 degrees. There's a chance we go to 0 on Wednesday night as well. Thursday night, -2. So we're going to be close to 0 or in the negatives almost every night next week. I haven't looked at the long-term temperature forecast, but I did see something on Twitter today that there is a possibility that we don't go above freezing until Super Bowl. Super Bowl's in February. So this is going to be a big cold snap. Maybe even a historic cold snap. So I want everybody to understand that when this winter storm gets here and dumps whatever it dumps, it's not going to melt. It's going to be around. So everybody needs to prepare for the absolute worst. I'm not trying to create a panic by no means, but this is going to be a big deal. A big deal, and it's going to be something people remember for a long time. So you want to make sure you prepare your home, make sure it's winter ready. Buy the supplies you need before the storm arrives. Have a plan in case you lose power or in case you're unable to leave your home. Monitor the forecast. Obviously, all you guys are doing that right now. You're monitoring the forecast. You're in here getting the latest information from us. We appreciate that. You want to prepare your vehicle. We understand there's going to be people that have to travel. We understand that there is essential jobs. The world doesn't stop. Even when there's a major winter storm, there's still people that have to, run everything. Your utility workers, farmers, emergency services, your dispatch, police, people in the medical field. You guys know who I'm talking about. There's people that have to do that regardless of what's going on outside. So you make sure you prepare your vehicle. Make sure you have your safety kit, your cold weather gear, all the necessities. Make sure you're full on gas, all that good stuff. Extra blankets in the vehicle, some snacks, even a shovel or a blowtorch. That way, if you happen to get stuck, you've got a shovel, you've got a blowtorch. Maybe you can, that will help you out in that situation. And make sure you have a plan. Have a communications plan. Change your travel plans. Obviously, not a lot of people is going to be traveling. Travel will likely be extremely hazardous, extremely dangerous, or even impossible in places. The number one thing, too, make sure you bring your pets in. But the number one thing I want everybody to realize is check on your neighbors, check on the elderly, check on your friends. We're all in this together. We all need to work together. Check on the people that's closest to you. That's what's going to make the difference. If we all work together, we all check on each other, we'll all get through this together as safely as possible, and hopefully nobody gets hurt, and hopefully there's no fatalities. That's the big thing. So, with that being said, that's all the information I have. So I'm going to pull up the winter weather graphic. Let's see here. Yeah, winter storm warning graphic here. I will answer some questions. I haven't read any of the comments. If you guys have any questions, I think here's what I'll do. I'm going to pull up the snow amounts. I know a lot of people's going to ask how much for my location. If you don't know what county you live in, Google it real quick. and then find it on this map. That's going to tell you how much snow that you're expected to get. So if you guys have any questions, throw them back in the chat now. Got a lot of people already commenting that there's several gas stations that's out of gas. So that tells you that people are really preparing for this storm. Michelle, yes, once the snow starts tomorrow morning, the roads will go downhill. And that's something else I want to talk about too. We're gonna be below freezing. Let me see where we're at right now on the Kentucky Mesonet, because I know we're below freezing. I just want to know how far below freezing we really are. Kentucky Mesonet, we're in the teens right now. We're in the teens right now. Tomorrow's high temperature 23 degrees tomorrow. So ground's ready. The ground is ready. The roadways are ready. As soon as it starts snowing, it's going to accumulate immediately. As soon as it starts snowing. So things are going to go downhill very quick tomorrow. Charlene, the Nashville local has an infant with RSV and compromised airway. Safer in E-Town. If you're looking at power, you're going to be safer in E-Town. Nashville's going to be dealing with a major ice storm. Much safer in E-Town. Chad, yes, it's 100% possible that the storm stays more to the south, that warmer air stays more to the south, to where the ice stays out of Kentucky. 100% a possibility, and that's kind of what the models are hinting at to an extent. The warm air is still going to come up into Kentucky. I don't see any way the warm air doesn't, but it just depends on how much and how fast it comes up. Dana, yes, I just kind of touched on that. The conditions will go downhill very, very quickly once it starts. Yes, if you lose power, still report it to RECC. That way they know. That way they can get out there and assess the issues and get it fixed as soon as possible. So, Aaron, freezing rain is just warm air aloft. So basically, you got cold air at the surface, and you got warm air aloft that melts the snow that's fallen, and it melts it as rain. But when it hits the surface, it freezes on contact. So there's a lot of times when we have these winter storms, I have people report to me rain in Summersville, or we got rain in Columbia, rain in Mumfortville, but the whole area is 28 degrees. That's not rain, that's freezing rain. It looks just like rain, smells like rain, it looks like rain, but as soon as that rain hits the ground, it freezes on contact. That's freezing rain. So it's warm air aloft. You're going to be freezing at the surface for it to be freezing rain. Heather's right. Tonight's cold. Could not imagine how cold it's going to be when temperatures are below zero. And if we get a lot of snow, it'll get a lot colder. I promise you that. So, Carol, yes, the snow that starts tomorrow will be a fluffier snow. If the snow that comes on Sunday, if it snows on Sunday for anybody, it will be a wetter snow. Brian, no, this is well. Actually, I don't know what these numbers are here from the National Weather Service. The maps that I was shown, not all of them was a 10-to-1 ratio. It was the Kuchera ratios, which take into the account of higher ratios when the snow starts. I don't really know what all goes into the Kuchera ratio, but it's supposed to highlight higher ratios because it's going to be colder when the snow starts. Yeah, some of these counties are hard to see, but for the most part, you can tell where you're at on the map. Yeah, Lindsay, Dr. Pepper tonight. I'm switching it up. Trying to keep everything fresh. Vanessa, yeah, power lines usually a quarter inch is when you start having some power line issues. Anything over a quarter inch, it's when they really start to come down. Chad, roads on Monday, probably main roads will be okay. I'm not 100% sure though. Pamela, right now, Hart County is in. I would say, I would say Hart County 7 to 10 inches probably, because the National Weather Service map here kind of splits the county. The northern half 8 to 12, the southern half 6 to 8. So I would say 7 to 10 is a good forecast there for Hart County. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate your compliment there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charlene. I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, if you're looking at radar, Kristen, if you're looking at radar, some radars will change. It's called precipitation depiction. It will change the precipitation on the radar to what it thinks is falling based on what surface temperatures are. But if you're looking at a radar that doesn't do that and it's showing just regular greens, more than likely you have to look and see what the temperatures are at the surface. But if the temperatures at the surface are below freezing, it's freezing rain. Renee, yes, it is 100% possible that the projected snow totals could significantly increase based off the data that starts rolling in as we get a little bit closer. 1,000% could, especially along the parkways to the Ohio River. I think that's the area that has the best chance for those snowfall amounts to go up. It's kind of what the National Weather Service has already been doing. They've already got 12 to 15 inches on their forecast, but I definitely think that could come a little bit more to the south and expand a little bit, especially if the data that rolls in tonight and tomorrow morning is dropping that to the south a little bit as well. Yes, Michaela. Yes, yes, yes. We'll get the start time. Here's your estimated start time for the storm. There's a lot of people asking about start time. So this is what time snowfall is expected to begin in the morning, or tomorrow, I guess I should say. Yeah, Tammy, Cumberland County is on the map. It's a map of Kentucky. Let me look at snow amounts there for Cumberland County real quick. You're looking at 4 to 6 inches, Tammy. 4 to 6 inches. I wish there was a way I could highlight counties. We'll probably get to that eventually, Carol, but not. I don't have that ability right now. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that a lot of the roadways was brimed, but when you get heavier snowfall and you get temperatures in the lower 20s, in the upper teens, lower 20s, brime's only going to do so much. Brooklyn, no, I do not think anybody will have school on Monday. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. Michelle, do I think I'll get any sleep during the snow? No, and that's okay. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Laura, yes, it's at some point it will get cold enough. I mean, like I'm saying, Monday and Monday night, like any salt that's dumped on the roads, it's not going to help it. Not going to help it at all. Even maybe even Sunday night, 7 degrees. So it's going to be a big deal when those temperatures drop again on Sunday. I mean, it's going to be hard. The road crews are going to have their hands full. I will say that. So you guys keep them in your thoughts and prayers. They're going to have a full meal to eat. Lee, yes, more than likely. After tonight, we'll do lives very frequently. You guys will see me a lot. So if you guys like listening to my beautiful voice and hearing my what I've got to say, you're going to be hearing a lot of it over the next 72 hours. So buckle up. Here is what the end times are from the National Weather Service. These are ending times on Sunday into Monday, Sunday night into Monday. This is what time the storm will end. So again, this is going to be a long duration storm, 48 hours. This is going to be a 2-day winter storm. It's a big deal, major deal. Yeah, Presley, give me just a second. We'll switch it over. We'll just go ahead and do it now. So here's the forecasted snow totals from the National Weather Service. And again, we haven't put out an official snow map from the ZMC team yet. We just simply haven't had time. We're all looking at the latest data. We're doing lives. We're talking back and forth with one another, and there's a lot of information that we have to go through and a lot of stuff we have to do behind the scenes to get maps out. We're going to try to get a map out this afternoon. I know I said that yesterday. We're going to try it again, but the forecast from the ZMC team, there's a couple of our guys that have, hand drawn their snow maps. It's very similar to the National Weather Service. So our team almost agrees. I wouldn't say it's identical, but it's very close to what the National Weather Service is saying. So this is total snow and sleet accumulations from the National Weather Service. And here is the total ice accumulation from the National Weather Service. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that. Thank you, Diane. Appreciate that compliment as well. Leslie. Appreciate all y'all's comments. Appreciate all you guys. And I'd say it's a good bet that a lot of the schools will be closed a lot of the week. I don't see. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not, but I don't see a lot of the schools going at all next week if we get what this storm is, what we're expecting this storm to bring. All right, I think I pretty much got all of the all. I think I'm caught up with all of the questions. Um, we'll go back to the snow amounts here real quick. Um, we're going to be doing a Twitter space again tonight at 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check on that. Because I asked. Yeah, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. 10 Eastern, 9 Central, which is about in an hour and 15 minutes. If you guys have been tuning in, it's a great thing to tune into, just to listen. If you haven't done it, it's basically a public conference call. You just jump on Twitter. I'll post my Twitter again tonight on my Facebook account. You just go to my Twitter page. I will post the link, and you just click on the link and listen. And it's me and the ZMC team. Excuse me. We talk about the latest data. Chris, Mike, Heather, Grayson, we all go back and forth. We all kind of do like a round table. We all each take a turn. Then we kind of discuss things. We look at the latest data that's moving in. It's more of a technical discussion, but it's a great room to be in if you're really into this winter storm. That's the one thing if there's any good news about the winter storm, it's how everybody's kind of coming together as a community. We all are going to be watching the same sky when this winter storm comes in. So we're all in this together. But if you're really invested in this winter storm, you're really wanting to see what the latest data is saying, and you're really wanting to hear our opinion on it in real time, jump in and listen to us. And something else you can do that a lot of people have been doing, you can actually hit a button, you can request to speak, and you can jump in there and talk with us as well. You can ask questions. You can kind of look at the data. There's some people out there that look at the same information that I do. You can jump in there and give your opinion on it, bounce back and forth. There's several people that do that. It's a great room to be in. I highly recommend anybody to jump in. We cut up. It's a very laid-back environment. But we're going to do that at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Please, I definitely encourage you guys to jump in and be a part of it. So, we'll look here one more time to see if there's any more questions that I need to jump in and say, or jump in and look at. Thank you, Allie. Appreciate you coming back. Yes, Ryan, that's probably a good. I wouldn't say all day Saturday. I would say from noon, starting around noon on Saturday, and then going probably over to some ice on Sunday, just depending on how far that warm air makes it north. Yes, Tommy, I sure did. You know how it is out there. It was a madhouse. Yes, Pat, I definitely think the ice totals could be less. Like I said, if that warmer air stays more towards Tennessee, our snow totals are going to go up. But if that warmer air really, crushes north, crushes into Kentucky, your ice amounts are going to be higher and your snowfall total is going to be less. Aaron, to be honest with you, nobody really knows as far as the warm air until we really get into the event. All these models are going to have, sorry to hit my mic, all these models are going to have different ideas on how far north that warmer air makes it. That's what we're struggling with. It's getting a better idea, but we really are not going to know. It's almost impossible to predict. It's kind of one of those things we take it hour by hour as the storm progresses, and we kind of just give updates as the storm moves through. And that's what we're going to be doing here at the ZMC team. We'll be doing updates pretty much almost every 2 hours. With all the latest information, we're going to be, one thing we are going to do, we're going to have live chasers out in the field. I know that Chris and Grayson for sure is going to be out traveling around. We're going to be able to live stream roadway conditions here in Central Kentucky. I'm not saying it's going to be here in Green Taylor County, probably around the E-Town area, because they like to stay close to that area right there. That's fine. Great information that we're going to have. I'm going to be really looking for y'all's pictures. I'm really going to make an emphasis to get you guys involved here with the broadcasting. I want to get your pictures on the broadcast. That way I can kind of show you guys what it's looking like at each location. It's going to be impossible for me to get everybody's picture, but I'm really going to be looking into that this storm. Yes, Lisa, there is a chance that we could have some ice here in Greensburg. Right now, we'll throw the ice amounts up here real quick. could be a quarter-inch ice here in Greene County. Sunday's probably going to be the higher potential for power outages, Sandra. I don't know if this is going to be like the 93 storm, but it's going to be a storm we talk about for a long time. I have a pretty good feeling about it. Okay. With that being said, I've gotten caught up on all of the comments. Again, I appreciate all of your support. Appreciate everybody jumping in here to kind of go over the latest information. So please jump in the Twitter Spaces later tonight. I'll post that on my Twitter account. And when the data rolls in tonight, if there's anything that changes, anything significant, I'll obviously post that to my Facebook page. I always do if there's anything wild that's showing up in the modeling data. But what I'll probably do with the modeling data is at least give somewhat of an update on my Facebook page. That way you guys are kind of plugged into the loop. I know there's a lot of people plugged into this storm. You're wanting more snow, or some people is wanting more snow. But I know nobody wants the ice. So I'll probably at least put out one more update tonight on my Facebook page to give you guys an update of what all the nighttime data is showing. But jump in Twitter, listen to us, even jump in and talk with us if you want to. And then tomorrow we're going to be all systems go. Several updates throughout the day on Saturday, into Saturday night, into Sunday night, into Monday morning. So we're going to be consistent with it. We're going to keep you guys up to date, and we'll be ready for whatever this winter storm brings. So one more thing before we leave, if you haven't prepared for the winter storm, if you haven't went out and got supplies, please do so tonight. There's still time tonight. Stores are still open. If you can't make it tonight, first thing tomorrow morning, get what you can. If you haven't prepared for it, I'm not trying to cause any type of panic, but I definitely feel like this is going to be a storm where people's going to be stuck for several days, or at least has the potential to. I would rather everybody be prepared and have it versus not have it and you need it and you're not able to get out. So, but like I said, we'll keep you guys updated throughout the entire winter storm. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday night.